Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 20th episode of the Triboro Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Alonso. I have an incredible hairdo right now. Yes, it's messed up. Mother, shut it. I will get a comb later. Joined by my co-host, Nicholas O'Brien. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm
Doing good.
doing swell. Should we talk about the elephant in the room before we begin?
The Eagles suck, and they
No.
don't make me mad at all.
Not that elephant.
I'm not mad whatsoever.
No.
Why would you say I'm mad?
No, I don't believe
Ha
so.
ha 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 ha. What's the elephant in the room?
The Texas Rangers
Oh, I
are
forgot.
World Series champions, which means that Mets legend Travis Jankowski is a World Series champion. That's it. Nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Just him.
Well, no. Jordan Montgomery, Yankee legend. Nathan
That's also
Eovaldi,
true.
Yankee
let me
legend.
repeat.
Aroldis Chapman,
Jordan
Yankee
Montgomery,
legend.
who wasn't going to make the postseason roster, Yankees
Yep.
legend. The same Jordan
No,
Montgomery?
not even roster. Starting rotation.
Ah, yes, of course. My bad.
Yes.
But yeah, DeGrom won a ring. I'm happy for him. I'm sure.
If anything, I should be more mad about it.
Why?
Because more Yankees were on that roster. More? No.
No. The amount of Yankees on the Rangers roster does not compute the amount of Jacob DeGrom.
Nathan Eovaldi was on the Yankees. He
Ass.
tore. Listen. He got Tommy John,
Uh-huh.
and then he went on to kill us with the Red Sox, killed us with the
Yes.
Rays, and then won a ring there.
Yes.
Jordan Montgomery, who we traded for Bader, that trade did not
Stupid.
work out. That trade didn't work out. He won a ring, pitched an absolute gem. Aroldis Chapman, who was one of the most hated men in New York, also won a ring. I didn't even think about it this way, but I think the Yankees would be more mad about it.
Absolutely not. No way.
Mm.
Jacob DeGrom's first year away, albeit he didn't do
But
much.
he didn't do anything.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I don't think it. You
and
could
also
say it.
Scherzer.
He didn't really do much either.
Right.
But that's why I'm saying it's worse at the
I
Yankees.
guess. Because they actually
Because
contributed.
they actually contribute in a very significant way.
Fair enough.
And also, didn't Ezekiel Duran do a decent amount of stuff early in the season?
Like first half.
You can make an argument he did more than Scherzer.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did. He was a prospect. It barely mattered.
He did more than Scherzer.
He did, but from
Exactly.
a Yankees perspective.
But considering it was the
whatever.
Joey Gallo trade,
Another bad trade. Wow, I'm sensing a pattern here. Anyways.
yeah, we did not plan this at all. By the
no,
way, I had no idea what you meant by the elephant in the room.
But Rangers are World Series champions, and I'm sad. So yay.
I really don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have more reason to be mad, but
I wish the Diamondbacks did it, but God forbid they have starting pitching.
Mhm.
A bullpen game in the World Series is certainly something.
Oh,
But-
Corey Seager too. How did I forget? Where every Yankee fan was banging the table for Corey Seager, but Brian Cashman said, "No, we're good. We have Didi at short." They didn't even make him an offer. A lefty hitting
Malpractice.
shortstop.
Malpractice. Should we actually get into that?
Yeah, we should probably get into. This was all outlived.
Yeah, exactly. Heading into Queens.
Now entering Queens.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Nick. So we had some issues with the audio at the beginning of Queens, so we're kind of just going to hop right into it, so we apologize about that, but without further ado, let's head into Queens. Before we get into it, I'm going to address the other elephant in the room, or unicorn, I guess I'm going to say. Shohei Ohtani.
Shut up.
Obviously, I'd love the Mets to get Ohtani. Any team would love Ohtani. Personally, I don't think the chances of the Mets signing him are as high, that's the word, are as high as it was in the past. And from a personal side, I've grown a little more worried about Shohei's contract. The more, obviously, things have progressed.
Especially because you don't know if he's going to be a pitcher or not.
Exactly. Entire next year, he's not pitching. And you're probably going to miss him for what? 2 months? I would say. At DH. So, what's your take on that? Ohtani as a whole.
For the Yankees or overall? Like for the Mets, for the Yankees, like what?
Mets and overall.
For the Mets, I think that even if he doesn't pitch, it would still be a good signing, but not for the money that you would have to pay for him just to be a DH. Because I feel like you guys do need that DH. Because your
Definitely.
DH is Vogelback. Like, you do
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
someone
There's
there.
a need there.
An immediate improvement there.
Exactly.
One, the money. I think the biggest thing. I think that if he goes to an East Coast team, he's going to the Mets. I don't think that, in my opinion, it's gonna be close.
Right.
Just because I think Steve Cohen will really be like, oh, you want an extra $10 million a year to come out East instead.
Right.
But I just don't see him not going to a West Coast team.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah. And again, just it's gonna probably a 10-year contract. You'd think maybe a little more.
I can't see it being under 8.
Right.
Like I'm thinking like 9 to 12ish.
Right. And you're sniffing 500, if not there. I feel like the Tommy John brings it back a little, but
But I also think it's one of those things you're gonna have to overpay.
probably,
It's Ohtani.
yeah.
There has never been a guy that has reached free agency like this.
Right. If you're gonna overpay for someone, it's gonna be Ohtani.
It will be one of those things because you always in free agency you always have to overpay.
Right.
That's just how it is because the market gets reset with new guys. You're essentially overpaying for a hitter and a pitcher in one.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
like you're just overpaying okay, you have to overpay an extra $5 million for a hitter. Overpay an extra 5 for a pitcher. You're overpaying
Right.
10.
Right.
So it's one of those things of who knows what he's gonna
Yeah,
get.
exactly. And I feel like a lot is not gonna get on the move until he signs. So
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
Is he Boris?
I don't think so.
I'm curious.
But I
But
feel
go.
like I think just a lot of people are just gonna wait on that. Obviously, that's like it's Ohtani than everybody else.
Nez Baleo.
So not Boris.
No,
So I can't speak much on that, but
never heard of him.
yeah, exactly.
That is not a knock on him. Let's just
Yeah, I mean, there's Boris and there's everyone else.
yeah.
But regardless,
I don't know a single agent in any other sport.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. But
Oh,
Ohtani, would love him. Don't think it's really a possibility right now. So, getting into it, I decided to kind of split things up. So I have to start off starting pitching. I think the Mets need a frontline starter, and they need one back-end starter.
Okay.
So for both, I have an A, B, and C option. So, frontline starter. I feel like this is going to be very similar for the Yankees.
I wonder.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Thank you for saying his name first.
You're welcome. Now you know how to say it.
Yes.
And we'll now call him Yamamoto from now on.
No, we're calling him Yoshi.
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 I like Yoshi, anyways. I think it's- But basically, he's the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
he is the starting pitcher on this market.
Yeah.
I am not good with contracts. Let me make that clear.
Mm.
But I haven't pegged,
Especially with international players too.
Exactly,
It's
you never know.
It's so weird.
I haven't pegged in the 8-year 220 range.
Mm.
What do you think?
I was thinking something along the lines of like almost like a Rodon deal, something
Yeah.
around there. Maybe
Yeah.
even like a little less AAV. But then I'm like, I was doing research and I was seeing like over 200 mil. I'm like, I did not for an international play like that's just
Right. I mean, he's what, 25? No. Or was he like just 30? I think it's like late 20s, right?
Okay, if it would actually show me, gosh,
I believe he's like 25, 26.
how do you spell his first name?
Yoshi Nobu. N-O-B.
I got it. Okay. 25. Yeah.
He's 25, right. So I think someone's going to be crazy and give him a 10-year deal. I would not be
I wouldn't
shocked.
hate it.
He's 25. When does a 25-year-old pitcher hit the market?
Yeah. It's just, but it's almost like Ohtani, where we've never seen something like this before,
Right.
where we don't know what on God's green earth is gonna happen.
Right. People are gonna say 7 years, 8 years, and it'll end up being 11, or 5.
17. Like,
Well, but I think he's the guy. I mean, again, like you said, 25 years old. That's perfect for this Mets team right now, especially if you're signing him to a long contract. 25, 8 years brings him to 33. Then you take it from there. So I think that's option A.
mhm.
Option B,
There is no option B.
well, fair enough. It's Yamamoto, nosedive, next tier. Option B and option C, I could interchange. I wouldn't mind. Option B, I have Aaron Nola. Now, I've talked about, off camera, unfortunately, I've talked about Nola to a bunch of people.
First I'm hearing about this.
Yeah. It was more so my dad. Sorry, Dad. I know you don't want him. But Aaron Nola, I think, is a perfect back plan. Oh my God. Not
Backup?
plan. Backup. Yeah. Backup
Plan B.
plan for Yamamoto. I think the thing that really shines for Nola is that he's going to give you around 200 innings each year. And that's something has been missing from this Mets starting rotation for quite a while. And if you still have Senga, who's going to his second year, he didn't pitch a lot of innings last year. And then I feel like you're going to mix in for that number 5 spot, you're going to mix in the David Petersons, the Tyler McGills.
By the way, Aaron Nola. Oh wait, never mind. He did in 2022.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was gonna say he pitched because on Baseball Savant said he didn't pitch 200 innings in since like at all.
Yeah.
But Baseball Reference says differently. Go on.
Yes, actually. So I have him pegged for a 5-year 125. What do you think?
That almost
about
feels
that?
low.
That's what I'm saying.
For how? Like, let me look at the.
I will say he had a
Actually, yeah.
average year this year, I would say. But I think FIP likes him. Projections like him. He doesn't strike out a ton of guys right now. He's going to induce soft contact. And again, I think the thing that really puts him above the rest is the fact that he's going to give you around 200 innings. Call it 185 to 200. I think that's what really shines, and that's what I think is really going to raise his value. So I think Aaron Nola would be a perfect backup plan for Yamamoto.
I'm just seeing a lot of gray on Baseball Savant.
Right. He had
a lot of gray.
He had a rough year this year.
Yeah.
But down the stretch, I think he kind of figured it out a little bit. He had a great postseason. I wouldn't say great. He had a good postseason. And again, he had a really good stretch at the end of the year. So I like him as a target. And for my last one, before I move on, the one thing that I will say about Nola is I think that if he gets offered a qualifying offer, that might stir the Mets away because they don't want to give up that draft pick. So that's one thing. That's why I said B and C could be
I just don't care about qualifying offers.
See, but you should because draft picks are amazing, especially from a Mets perspective where you're kind of not rebuilding but retooling. You're going to need all those draft picks.
Yeah.
Which is why option C, I don't think he can get a qualifying offer because he just opted out. Eduardo Rodriguez. I had him around the 5-year 120 mark. I think that's fair.
I don't think he gets close to what Nola gets. Just off name value alone.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe because he's a lefty.
Maybe. I also think Nola's going to get a kind of lowball offer just because of the year he had. Because 2022 was really good. 2022 was really good. 2021, 23 for Nola was kind of iffy. So he has like a good year sandwiched between 2 average years. But again, I am no contract guru, so this could be way off. But Eduardo Rodriguez,
career ERA in the 4s, by the way.
Right. But look at the last 2 years.
3.3
last year and a half, give or take.
2022 4 ERA, 2023 3.3.
The potential is there.
All right, go on.
But kind of like what you just said, he doesn't have the longest track record of great starts, but I still think he should be an option and they should look at him. My only thing about Rodriguez is the fact that he is a lefty. You already have Jose Quintana, who's a lefty. I'm going to make a wild guess and say that David Peterson's your 5 starter. That's a lefty. So that would be 3 lefties in the rotation, which I don't exactly love.
He also does not have a red thing on Baseball Savant.
He does not have
red thing. Like, look, obviously, like the underlying numbers, he does not have a single red bubble.
Right.
That's a very light shade of red.
It's a little red right there.
That's orange.
Right. But I think those are the 3 options you look at. Obviously, there's a name missing that people would probably be clamoring for, but I will get into that a little later. But for frontline starters, what do you think for the Mets?
I think those are really the 3. It's not. this pitching class is so top heavy.
Oh,
It's
extremely.
I think the free agent class as a whole is like so top heavy,
Extremely, yeah.
and if you don't get one of the big fishes, like
You got to make up, like you got to like put together spare parts.
yeah,
Which it's a perfect segue into my back end part, where do you think there's a reunion
Oh,
with
boy.
Mr. Seth Lugo, who just opted out of his Padres deal?
I mean, how did it go with the like breakup?
Basically, well, I know Lugo has wanting to be the starter for a while.
Did he get traded or leave in free agency?
He left in free agency
Okay.
last year. He wanted to be a starter for a while, and the Mets really never gave him the chance. So that's the one caveat there, where I'm not sure how that relationship is right now. And plus, you know, he doesn't have a great track record. Obviously, it's 1 year. He had a really good year for his first year starting. I think he pitched around 150 innings and like a 3.5 or like a 3.7, if I'm remembering correctly. So I have him around like a 2-year, 25, opt out after the first one.
I
Opt outs are everywhere.
I think if the Mets want him, I think there's a good chance they get him. Just
Yeah.
because new regime,
Right.
it's the people that he had the bad blood with are kind of like gone.
Yeah,
And I'm saying bad blood very loosely.
right,
The people he had the disagreements about him being a starter or reliever, they're kind of like gone.
right,
And there's a much bigger need for a starter than there was when he was playing
right.
with the Mets. So
Yeah. So I mean, Epler obviously is gone. Not sure how
Buck.
David Stearns values him as a starter. So obviously it's up to him. But I think he's, again, like you said, this free agent class is very top heavy. So this back end guy, there's
not
going to be
even a-
question marks.
it's not even a. I mean, that's any back end guy in any free.
Right.
Like I feel like he's not a bad back end guy.
No, I think the only concern is obviously this going into next year would only be his second full year as a starter, and he has had UCL issues in the past. So it's like, how long is that elbow going to hold up? So that's the only issue there.
Anyone you're gonna find at that point, though.
Fair enough. Which brings me to my next point, Lucas Giolito. Horrible year last year.
Some of those starts were
Yeah, some of his starts were just laughable.
comical.
But again, as a back end guy,
He finished with a sub-5 ERA.
yeah, exactly.
That is crazy.
Right.
That is insane. I thought he would have been. He had 180 pitch. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Right. He pitches a lot. He makes starts. He has had success in the past. The past 2 years were kind of iffy. So I have him around 2 years, 38 million,
Mm-hmm.
give or take. I mean, those back end guys get paid. Like, look at Taijuan Walker and James
Yeah.
Tyone last year. I would have not expected them to make almost 20 million, if not
I think JMO was like 16.
right, like
15,
close
16.
to 20 million. So I think Lucas Giolito
He's
can get a
28.
That's
What?
young. He's young.
I thought he was like 35.
That is also the thing that can go against the Mets is if he wants a long-term contract.
Yeah.
Because I am not giving this guy a long-term contract right now. That's why 2 years, have an opt-out after one. If he has a good year, there you go. Thanks for stopping by. And my last one, and again, these are the spare parts of the group, James Paxton on a 1-year deal. He had a good year last year. Again, another lefty, so not sure how I feel about that. But I think it's one of those guys. This is where you're looking for those 1-year deals. Kind of, you're gonna hit or you're gonna miss. So there's a lot of pitchers that kind of fall into this category.
Mhm.
But I like James Paxton the best. Thoughts?
He had a 4.5 ERA last year. What do you mean good year? I mean for 5. I mean
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like
but
you're signing him for 4.45, and look at his underlying stats. I think his expected ERA is like 3.5.
it's more just you are not gonna want to watch a first inning of a Mets game if this man is pitching.
Well,
You are not.
I watched Carlos Carrasco. I think I'm okay.
Nick. This man. He has a special place in my heart because
I'm
at
sure.
Game 4 of the ALCS, where I saw him just put his nuts on the face of the Houston Astros and just destroy them. But I do not want to. I would not want to have this to watch James Paxton pitch again. It happened. It's over. Good. You don't know that experience yet.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have to go through that experience.
I mean, the injuries are also a concern.
They
So
are.
there's also that.
That's what I mean. Like,
Right.
or that's kind of like the big thing about it is
Yeah.
the injuries are so serious.
Right.
Like, there's like He didn't pitch in 2022. He pitched 1 inning in 2021 and pitched 96 innings this year.
Right. So, again, that's what you're getting with this kind of group. I mean, you got Hanjin Ryu you can look at. You have maybe a Kenta Maeda. You
I feel like
have
at least with Ryu,
Jack Flaherty, which I would rather stay away from.
at least with Ryu, like he has not pitched well recently, but there was a point where like he was dominant.
Right. I mean, 2019.
So at least with like
give or take, that's 5 years
but
ago.
that's a juice ball. That's when the juice balls were in high effect.
Fair enough.
And if he was dominant, like that just means that there was something that he did right.
Right.
And if you're signing him on a cheap deal, I think that just from a value standpoint, he may actually be a sleeper.
Yeah. I was looking at him too, but I don't know. James Paxton interests me. I like him. And then I have 2 honorable mentions just because they wouldn't be pitching next year. But Tyler Mahle is one. He's probably going to miss most, if not all, next year.
Forgot he got Tommy John, right?
Right. He got
Forgot
Tommy
about
John early in this season. But you can sign him to one of those, 2-year deals where you kind of just
Yeah.
wait for him for next year.
What the Dodgers did with Canley.
Right. And then Brandon Woodruff. Now, I know what you're thinking. Brandon Woodruff is not a free agent. What are you talking about? Brandon Woodruff is going to have, or did have, shoulder surgery, and he's going to miss most, if not all, of 2024. He is currently a non-tender candidate for the Brewers, just because of the amount of money he would be making and because he is missing all of next year. So, if he is non-tendered, the Mets should be all over him.
If I'm the Brewers, I think that would be malpractice to non-tender him.
So would I.
I think you got to give him a contract and trade him. Non-tender pretty much means that you don't give him a contract.
Right. You're releasing them for the most part.
Essentially, yeah.
But the thing, you can't trade a guy who's going to miss all of next year.
But you can.
No. He's going to have no value. You're not going to get anything in return.
But you would get something, correct?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
more
like
than
a
you would
guy
get.
out of the top 50, maybe.
What if you throw him in a package?
That's different.
But
Then
that's
you're
what
getting value from the attached.
But that's what I'm
asset.
saying, where it
And-
can be a thing of like I've always been one of those people that something's better than nothing.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
But if you're trading for someone of Brandon Woodruff's caliber, even though he's missing all of next year, you're getting something of significance in return. You
Mm.
don't just throw a pitcher like that in.
Mm.
Like he can't be a throw-in.
Yeah, but you're literally were just mentioning about non-tendering him.
Right.
So if you're saying he's at the level of non-tendering, but now you're saying you'd have to get something of significance.
Right. Because it's a fact of the Brewers are not a big market. They have to watch their money. They're not going to pay a guy $20 million to sit on the bench, essentially. And I just don't think you're going to get a lot of value from him when you should. That's what I'm trying to say. The value is there when he's healthy, but if he's missing all of next year, then what value is there to have? And you're also trading him on arbitration status. So, you have to go through arbitration first, and then maybe trade him. And then the team you trade him to has to find a way to value him after not pitching for an entire year. Again, I don't think any team is really going to pay a guy $20 million to sit on the bench. That's why if you non-tender him, you backload a contract and you call it a day. But that might not even happen. So this whole discussion probably means nothing.
Yeah.
But from a pitchers as a whole, do you think I'm missing anyone?
Not really. Maybe like some guys that really just no.
Yeah, like a flyer type guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those.
Luis Severino.
No, I'm okay. I don't trust the Mets that much to kind of quote unquote fix someone like that.
There's one team he should go to, and I am not going to mention it because I will get into that later. And
Okay, fine. I was gonna say.
but I think we have the same idea.
I believe. But going to the next segment for the offseason, bats, offense, need. So I kind of separated into outfield and DH, and then I have one guy that kind of fits both, where you can kind of,
a flex guy.
right. Yeah, flex. All right. So
No infielders at all. Not even like a depth guy.
I mean, from a depth perspective, I think you're kind of set with what you have.
Mm.
I think Luis Guillorme is on your roster. Omar Narvaez is on your roster. You probably
Daniel Vogelback is on your roster.
Daniel Vogelback better get non-tendered. So I think that kind of solves itself
Mhm.
in a way, because you know what? I'll just say it now. The position that I'm missing that a lot of Mets fans might want them to fill is third base. Third base obviously means Matt Chapman or a Justin Turner or Heimer Candelario, someone of that nature. I think third base has enough prospects that could fit into that spot, where third base is a position that you need to figure out what you have. Whether it's Brett Beatty, whether it's Ronnie Mauricio, whether it's Mark Vientos.
Turner will be 39 when the season starts, by the way.
Right, so he's probably more of a DH guy anyways.
Yeah.
But I think third base has to be solved internally. So that's why I really focus on outfield. So I don't want them to sign Matt Chapman.
Mhm.
He's a good player, he's a solid player. I just think they have too many options internally to go throw a contract out like that.
Yeah.
So moving on to outfield. First on the list, I have Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He was on the Diamondbacks. He got traded from Toronto. He was kind of a Mark Canha-esque. He was like a 10% league average bat. I think he had like a 109.
Who also got traded to Detroit, by the way?
Yes, he did.
Just something to note.
Yeah. It was like a 108, 109 WRC plus for the year. Left fielder. Mets need a left fielder. As I talked about last episode, I don't think you can rely on Starling Marte. I think Starling Marte is your de facto fourth outfielder just because of health issues. So Gurriel, like a 3-year, $45 million deal, like $15 a year, I think would be perfect.
Mm.
I like his contact. He has a little bit of power. His defense is all right. So Lourdes Gurriel, I think, should definitely be an option. But after that, this may come as a shock. Why don't you talk to Tommy Pham again? See if there's any interest in coming back. I know this is like a great character development.
This
point.
is
Like this is full circle. Like
you should sell the script. Like Hollywood wouldn't buy the script because they wouldn't believe it.
That's what I'm saying. This is some like fantastic character
Yeah.
development. Tommy Pham, like a 1-year, $8 million deal. I know.
I wish that we had time travel so I could clip this
Mm-hmm.
and show it to yourself in the beginning of the year reacting to the Tommy Pham signing.
If I knew that Tommy Pham was gonna have an 800 OPS for the Mets, the hell do I know? I know nothing apparently.
You don't know ball?
I don't know ball, but Tommy Pham, he hits ball hard.
Yes.
And he was really good for the Mets. I know he said some things in the offseason that ticked some people off. I just
He
think
ticks a lot of people off.
that's just Tommy Pham.
That's just Tommy Pham.
He's just a very intense person. But I think Tommy Pham, see if there's any interest, bring him back on 1-year deal, see what happens, because you do have outfield options.
Lots of red, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of red.
A lot of red. Hits ball hard.
The worst
He
thing
hits
he
ball
is
far.
is he's literally 50% for sprint speed.
Right. And left fielder, he's fine. He'll be fine there. But you do have a lot of outfield options coming up. You have Drew Gilbert. You have Luis Angel Acuna, who can play outfield. You have Jet Williams, who can play outfield. You also have Jeff McNeil, who can play outfield. So Tommy Pham, come on down. Come on back. I can't believe
Wait,
I'm saying
did you
this.
mention Jet Williams playing outfield?
Yes.
You think he's going to be ready?
You know what? I'll talk about that now. I don't think you're going to see him like a June, July. I think he's more of a September call-up. I'm talking more future. Yes, his ETA doesn't look great,
Yeah, 2026.
but you would have not
So
seen
3 years from now, but
he
go on.
he started the year in low A, ended it in double A.
This is not a knock,
Yeah.
any means at all, but go on.
You're just looking at what the computer tells you.
Yeah.
But this kid was on fire
Damn, he's
throughout
short.
the year. He is short.
5'6".
Yeah. He's shorter than me, which is
He has
saying
some
a lot.
short prospects.
Short Kings. The
4 out of 5 of your top 5 prospects are under 6 foot.
Good. Short Kings.
And we
I lo-
know how
I
you
love
feel
my
about
short
Ronnie
kings.
Mauricio, who is the only one
Who's
that's
a giant.
who is 6'3".
Maybe I'm just like heightest.
Jesus, he's 6'3", 166.
Yeah, he needs to put some muscle.
Jet Williams, who is 9 inches shorter than him, is 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, sorry.
But Jet Williams, I think he's more of a September call-up, but I like him a lot.
Mhm.
So he's playing second base. He's playing outfield. You fit him into that offense. You move McNeil to an outfield. But again, I think he's more of a September call-up next year. I think 2025 is when you really start talking about a starting position for Jet. But Drew Gilbert and Luis Angel Acuna are definitely
Contenders this year.
contenders this year. Not out of spring training, but later on.
Maybe Acuna, but
Yeah, he had a really bad time.
well, I'm just saying. I'm saying if I had to put a bet,
Yeah.
on one of the two, I'd say Acuna.
But then moving on to DH, which there's not a lot of like pure DHs.
There's no
DH.
JDs. There's no.
There is a JD.
Well, I'm saying
JD
like
Martinez is literally.
I'm saying like the prime JD Martinez.
Yes,
That's what I meant.
but first and foremost, Jorge Soler. I mean, he's like the guy. He's the DH guy. Obviously, a little bit of concern. He seems to be a every other year type of guy. So obviously, 2024 would be his off year.
That is the most unanalytical thing that you have ever said.
I know. But still, I have him like a 3-year, $40 million deal.
Mhm.
I think his power would be much needed. I think the Mets have enough contact hitters around him where you can sacrifice that for a high strikeout, high power guy.
Yeah.
So I think Jorge Soler is a perfect fit. He can stand in the outfield. He made like the best play of his life at the beginning of the year against the Mets, and that was it. And then, of course, go figure, JD Martinez. They didn't seem to talk to him last year.
I feel like a lot of people want, like a lot of especially at the deadline, a lot of people wanted him.
Right. So 1 year, $12 million deal. He had a hell of a year for the Dodgers. Dodgers black magic, probably. Is he gonna suck with the Mets? Probably.
Definitely.
Do I still want him?
Definitely.
Yeah. JD Martinez, come on down. And then for that flex option we talked about, which I don't know how to feel.
Sorry, but
Yeah.
red.
Lots of red.
Red.
JD Martinez hits the ball very hard and very far.
Yes.
But lastly, going to that flex option, Teoscar Hernandez.
Mhm.
I go back and forth with Teoscar. Obviously, the power's there. He's going to strike out a lot, and he's very streaky. But again, he's one of those guys where I think the Mets can sacrifice a spot in that lineup to get some more power.
Mhm.
I just wouldn't want to pay him a ton of money.
I agree with you on that.
That $15, $16 million range, I would like.
How long?
Like 4 years. I have him 4 years, 72.
He's 31, by the way. Just
Right.
for like people that don't know.
Yeah. And I do not want him sniffing 20 million.
That'd be 18, by the way.
Right. So I think he's going to get a lot of attention trying to play in the market.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know anything. But
We don't.
yeah, exactly. But I think he's probably going to be sniffing 20 million. I wouldn't want to sign him for 20 million just because of the type of player he is, but he definitely fits the need. But that's what I got for bats. Is there anyone?
Surprised you didn't talk about relievers at all.
I'm getting to it.
Okay,
Relax.
Wait, you said you split it up into pitching and hitting, so that's why I thought.
Starting pitching, hitting.
Okay,
bullpen.
go.
No.
You never mentioned bullpen.
Hold on.
Into Bronx.
Is there anyone I missed?
No.
For the bats?
I mean,
Who do
yeah,
you like?
there's a big one.
I'll talk about him. Who do you like?
No, a big bat.
I'll talk about him.
Cody Bellinger.
I'll talk about him.
So
There's a few.
we're saving. Oh, to go.
Hold on. I am trying to
I'm confused.
gauge your likeness of my ideas.
I think it was good because I feel like it's completely different what the Yankees and Mets need for. The Yankees and Mets both need hitters, but they
Very different
both
hitters.
need very different types of hitters.
Yeah.
Like they should all jokes aside make a trade
The Mets?
in Yankees
I don't know about that one.
because you guys have left.
You guys got stinky.
No, but you
players.
guys have
I
a
don't
lot
want
of
your
lefty.
stink.
You have a lot of
I don't want
lefty
that
hitting
Bronx
contact
stink.
guys. A lot of lefty hitting contact guys. You need big righty bats. We
You're
have a
not-
lot of big righty bats and no lefty hitting contact hitters.
I'm not touching Giancarlo Stanton.
Take
with
him.
a 10-foot
Take him.
pole,
Here you
and
go.
you are not
Here you go.
taking my Jeff McNeil away from me.
Here you go. We'll
No.
pay Stan's entire contract and McNeil's entire contract. Take him.
Well, yeah, if you're just giving him for free, then yes.
No, but you give us McNeil.
No.
Yes.
No, horrible. I
Next.
don't want to touch Stan. Anyways, bullpen. You happy?
It's kind of homophobic, but go on.
What? Oh my God. Bullpen. David Robertson. Sign him back. Get him back right now. He didn't want to leave. Shouldn't have traded him. You should have because it was the right idea. I just didn't like it because it made me very sad. David Robertson.
Fucking fleece.
1
too.
year, exactly. 1 year, $8 million. Make it happen.
The David Robertson special
Exactly.
at this point.
Make it happen. Matt Moore. He's had a really good couple years. 1 year, 3.5. I think that does it. Mets need lefties. Matt Moore's a lefty. Let's talk. Let's make
He's
something
a baseball
happen.
player. We need a baseball player.
That's what I'm saying. And lastly, Brent Suter. Who the hell is that guy?
You made that name up.
He played for the Rockies, and he had a really good year. I believe he has reverse splits, so obviously it doesn't really...
How do you spell his name?
Brent?
I got it.
Suter.
Stutter.
Suter. But he's another lefty. He had a really good year with the Rockies. Again, the Mets need lefties. You have Brooks Raley, who the Mets picked up his option. So you need another lefty.
He
And
just
I
does
went
not.
Brent Suter.
People just do not swing and miss at him.
No, he's a contact guy.
Yeah, but which did not play well, of course. But go on.
Right. But it did, apparently.
Well, no, that's not like a knock on him.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy. Went to Harvard.
He gets it. He can do a really good what's his name? Oh my God, Jim
Next.
Carrey impression apparently. Anyways, so that's bullpen.
Mhm.
But now trades. Obviously, big fish. Juan Soto.
You still didn't mention Cody Bellinger.
Wait,
Okay.
Juan Soto. You're talking to the Padres whether you like it or not.
Yes.
Corbin Burns, maybe. Or the Brewers.
He's on the market.
Maybe. He's not very happy. The Brewers already sold off Canna, who I thought was on a pretty cheap deal. They're trying to save some money. Let's talk about it. Corbin Burns.
How many years are left?
I want to say like 2, 1.
Oh, look, go on.
I think 1. You know what? I'll stick with Milwaukee. I'll go out of order. Before I talk about it, I want your opinion on this,
Mhm.
and just let me finish.
He's entering the last year of his contract.
Okay,
Go on.
so 1 year. Do you call Milwaukee about a certain Christian Yelich?
I was thinking that, man. For the Mets,
He has 5 years.
5 years.
I think you do.
Yeah, it just
I think
depends
you
what you'd
call.
give up.
Yeah.
I think that if I'm the Yankees or Mets, I'm calling about a Burns Yelich package.
Yeah.
Just because
Eat
for
the
them
contract.
to be able to eat that contract, I think that is something they would be begrudgingly willing to do.
Right. And obviously, David Stearns knows Yelich, knows Burns.
Craig Counsell soon.
Knows exactly. You get it. He knows the system. I think you call Milwaukee about Yelich. Are they selling high on him because he had a really good year? Probably.
Definitely.
But I think he kind of solves that left field issue. And I still think he's a pretty good... He's not MVP Yelich anymore, unfortunately, but he's still a really good player.
He is almost Milwaukee, or he's almost Miami Yelich now.
Yeah.
Where like he lost that power just because like 2 spells, whatever you want to say, injuries, whatever you want to like give the reasoning to, but he's still a pretty good baseball player.
Right. And lastly, kind of same idea. Chris Sale, Alex Verdugo.
Nope.
Eat the Sale
Verdugo,
contract.
maybe. Sale, not a chance in hell. I would not want that guy anywhere near my baseball team.
Really? From
No.
a player perspective, from a person perspective.
Both.
Yeah.
He doesn't like people. He doesn't like minor league players. Let's look at how many innings he has pitched in the
Yes.
last couple of years.
I know. The
2021, 42. 2022, 50. How in God's green earth did he pitch 100 innings last year?
Yes, obviously the injuries are a concern, but the Mets need starters, and the Mets need an outfielder. And I'm sure the Red Sox would love to get rid of that contract.
I would just not.
I think you talk. He's another lefty, which again, I already said my thing about lefties. So there's that.
I also think Verdugo's not like a needle mover for
He's
me.
not.
He's league average hitter.
Exactly.
100
He's-
OPS plus, 105 career.
Right. He's nothing special.
Not worth Mookie Betts.
No, not at all. And then I have my 3 stayaways. Number 1, Cody Bellinger. Don't talk to him. Just don't. He's going to get way too much money for the amount of production he's going to give you. Not a lot. I'm sure you beg to differ. We will talk about it in 5 minutes. Number 2, Blake Snell. Don't talk to him. Look the other way.
He's the weirdest pitcher of all time.
He's going to walk 5 guys, strike out 10, and go 4.5 innings.
And almost win a Cy Young.
Exactly. He's winning the Cy Young for some reason. I know it. Don't want him. Don't think that contract is going to age great. Jordan Montgomery, stay away. Talk to him. I think he's going to get priced out. That's the one reason why I say stay away. I think he's a good pitcher. He's not a number 2. He's like a good 3, very good 4. Stay away from him.
I disagree with that from a Mets perspective. I think that if he goes to 29 baseball teams, he is a low 2, high 3. If he goes back to the Yankees, he'll be a 4 or 5 because they don't know how to let him pitch. So I think if he goes to 29 baseball teams, he will be a low 2, high 3. But if he goes to the Yankees, he won't be. But go on. On that point, I disagree. But
I think he just had an incredible postseason, so good for him. He's going to get a bag. I just don't think he's going to be worth the amount of money he's going to get.
Let's see this. Because I think he pitched really well in the regular season, too.
He did. He pitched like a low end 2, high end 3. And he's going to get high end 2, low end 1 money.
When he got traded from the Yankees in the first half year in St. Louis, 62 innings, 3.11 ERA.
Right.
When he got traded to the Rangers, 67 innings, 2.79 ERA.
Right. I don't think I think he's more of a 3.5 guy, which is a number 3. And I think he's going to get paid like a number 2. And I do not want that contract.
Okay. Fair.
That's all I got.
I'm surprised you didn't even mention because he was a lefty.
That's another reason. You just feeding into my narratives right now. But that's all I got. You got anything?
Oh, I got stuff, but we're gonna talk about it in
the Bronx.
Now entering the Bronx.
Hello and welcome back to the better half of the Triboro Podcast.
Wrong.
So, you said Bronx, correct? I agree with you on that. So we're just gonna start it out with a bang. So, in the Queens, in the Queens, yes,
Queens, okay.
the far inferior section.
Wrong.
You talked about how your shortstop
Wrong.
got robbed of a Gold Glove.
Wrong.
Well, my shortstop, Anthony Volpe, did not get robbed of a Gold Glove.
Yeah, because he's
Anthony
up against
Volpe
Corey
won
Seager.
the 2023 Gold Glove Award.
Who is he up against?
Seager and Correa.
Yeah.
That's hey. When you go into their stats, how many Gold Gloves is Anthony Volpe going to have for 2023 compared
Oh my God.
to Francisco Lindor?
Just go on. I'm not.
How many MVPs does Judge have?
He has 1.
How many should he have?
He has 1.
How many should he have?
He has 1.
Okay, there, you just proved my point.
Okay.
Anyways, Anthony Volpe won your Gold Glove.
And in all seriousness,
Had a much better year than people are giving him credit for.
such as myself, but defense was never a question. I mean, I think he always showed out on the defensive side, so congratulations to him. And
yeah,
it's nice to have a good defensive shortstop.
Yes. I'm just going to touch on him very quickly. He wasn't in my plans, but I'm just really quickly. People got to realize, the overall numbers weren't good. He had a 2020 season as a rookie, 15th player in MLB history, won a Gold Glove. He is, unless he gets traded, which we'll get into that soon, a cornerstone player for your franchise for the next how many ever years. Especially when you consider he's a shortstop. Especially when you consider they didn't really use him and they didn't use his legs as much as they should have been. And the offense around him was pathetic. So he had a lot more on his shoulders than he really should have been. But yeah.
Bad roster construction.
Yes. Anyways, because it's not an Anthony Volpe podcast. It should be. He's awesome. The Yankees, so pretty much you're allowed to, if guys are on like their last year of arbitration or if they just like it's weird, like waving. I'm trying to like
Yeah.
explain waving.
The intricacies.
Yeah, you could pretty much say like, yeah, you're not getting a contract.
Yeah.
They did that to, and pretty much if you have two options, you could either, if you don't get claimed off waivers, you could either go to that team's AAA system, so like the Yankees AAA, or you could just try out free agency. The 6 players that they did: Matt Bowman, Franchi Cordero, I don't want you again. Jimmy Cordero, you beat your wife, I don't want you again. Billy McKinney, Ryan Weber, I love the Web Dog. But now the biggest one, Domingo Herman. Get off my team. I don't want to see you again. I don't want to. I said Franchi Cordero beat his wife. I don't want him. Or not Franchi Cordero. Sorry. Jimmy Cordero. Wrong Cordero. Domingo Herman, if they assign him to AAA, I will burn down Yankee Stadium. He has no business being on this team. I don't give a shit he threw a perfect game. I do not want to see this man's face one more time in my life unless he's getting lit up by the Yankees. That's the only time I want to see this man's face again. He is not a good pitcher. He would have his random starts where he would convince people that they're pitchers. He had a perfect game, sure, but some of the most fucking Dallas Braden had a perfect game. What did he do for his career?
Hey. He has a good beard.
But you get the point that I'm making.
Dodger.
Anyone can have a perfect game.
Dodger.
Anyways,
Dodger.
that. Out of those guys, the only guy I would really want them to bring back is Ryan Weber. He did a very good job, just like, oh, you need a spot starter? You're up.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a spot reliever? You're up.
Yeah.
DFA, AAA, you're up. All that. I think he did a great job at that. I really want him back. He's just kind of like that depth piece. Obviously, not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
And then you also have, how many is this? 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm highlighting 5 kind of like big free agents. You have Luis Severino, Frankie Montas, IKF, Wandy, and Kenyon Middleton. If you don't know who Kenyon Middleton is, no one else does. That's the guy they traded for at the deadline, one of 2 guys. The one that they did not DFA. He pitched very well. I'd love to see him back. Wandy, I don't know because reliever money is so weird.
Yeah.
And I think that they may try and I'll get into that second. Let me start about the rotation first. Well, I could mention IKF. I wouldn't hate him getting a small deal, just
Utility
like a utility.
role.
I wouldn't hate that depending on what they do with the other things for the offseason.
This is your Tommy fan, by the way. This is. Let's take this clip back in time and show you.
No, it's different. Because IKF's actually a really good guy. He has no controversy around him as a person. Incredible person. No one has anything bad to say about him as a person. But the player. That's where it's different. So I think this is completely different.
Did you or did you not want him on the roster last year?
I did not.
Okay.
But for different reasons
it.
than you wanting not wanting Tommy fan.
That's all, Your Honor.
No.
Done.
Nope. I'm
Go on.
cross-examining myself. I'm putting myself on the stand and
So, Justin Alonso, what did you think about IKF? Well, actually, I thought he was actually a pretty good baseball player.
Shut up.
If you look at...
I feel bad for people that don't know what you just did.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. So you can see this.
All right, anyways.
So the 2 pitchers that you have, 2 big starters that you have as free agents, Luis Severino and Frankie Montas. As much as this hurts me to say,
Bye-bye.
Severino's got to go.
Yep.
And we were talking about, or we said in Queens, just about how where
He's going to end
there was
up
a place.
on 3.
On 3.
Are you ready?
Are we saying 3 go or 3?
No. 3, 2, 1, say it.
Oh, okay.
All right, you
3,
ready?
2, 1,
Dodger.
Dodgers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where any pitcher goes that they've
It's
been
Dodgers
hurt.
or the Rays.
No, he's not going to the Rays. He's
Yeah,
going to the Dodgers.
That's what I'm saying.
He's going to the
But
Dodgers.
if you're a pitcher that needs to turn your career around,
you're going to the
Dodgers or the Rays.
90% Dodgers, 10% Rays.
It's true. The Rays get all their guys from trades. They wouldn't spend money. What are you talking about?
This may be a hot take. I don't know. Give Frankie Montas a prove a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to happen too. Because you don't trade for a guy, not see him at all.
Yeah.
And then,
See ya.
yeah. I think
Thanks for
they give him
stopping
a
by.
1-8, 1-10, whatever. It's just a
Yeah.
prove a deal.
Yeah. Definitely not the qualifying offer.
Because
which I
no.
forgot to mention is $20 million this year.
Yeah.
So
I think it's 20 million, 35K.
something like that.
So
absolutely not.
The reason why I think they need to bring back Montas, not need, but they really should bring him back. Your rotation is Cole and then 3 question marks, then you just don't have a 5th starter. after Cole is Rodon, Schmidt, and King. I
Mhm.
think King's going to be a really good starter, but it's not proven yet. So
Yeah.
we can't just slot him in like you're going to be perfect. Schmidt, I think he was pretty solid last year. He was very Tanaka-esque.
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned this on the podcast. He would have 4 or 5 very good starts and then just get lit up like Tanaka would.
Right.
I'm comfortable with him. Rodon, you never know about the health. So you are going to need...
Interesting.
Shut up. You are going to
Interesting that you
need
say that.
depth. How's Scherzer doing? You are going to need
Don't
depth.
care. Not on my team.
Well, what were you saying about the World Series? You are going to need depth
Yes.
for starting pitchers.
Correct.
So, on to my predictions. I think... So, I'm very out of, like, order with the stuff like this.
So you're unorganized, crazy.
Yeah.
Weird.
So, first off, I think they're going to give Wandy a deal. Or offer him a deal. Some 2 to 3 years, some, like, about 7, 8 AAV.
Something like that.
He's a reliever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a world where they don't want. I think that they're either going to give a lot of money to a hitter,
Yeah.
and then go not cheap, more budget on pitching. Still get solid guys, but not go over.
Yeah.
Or they're going to just give a shit ton of money to a pitcher, go like more budget on a hitter.
Right.
That's what I think's going to happen. So I think something that may be a little, I don't want to say low key, but
Right.
wouldn't be unheard. All right, wouldn't shock me is
Yeah.
if they let Wandy walk and then
Yeah.
sign Josh Hader.
Whoa. Wow. Whoa. I was.
How long have the Yankees
Wow.
been connected to Hader?
Only a few years now, right?
You're losing Wandy, so you're losing a lefty.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think he was one of 2 lefties you had in your bullpen. So you have Clay Holmes, he surprised me as a closer.
Better as a not closer. I
Yeah.
feel.
But you're losing King, so you're losing one of your best bullpen because he's going to rotation probably.
For all intents and purposes.
So-
yeah.
They don't have
A closer.
a guy that's like you could hang your hat on.
Yeah.
So I think that's just like someone that I could see them with how long they've been connected to him for that they just give him a bag of money.
Right.
You did not expect that, did you?
No. My only issue with Hader is he is a one-trick pony. Meaning, yeah, I mean, closers are supposed to be in for 1 inning, technically. But he will, like, literally only pitch 1 inning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has said it in the past. He will not pitch more than 1 inning. And I think he's only done it once and it was in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thing with him. He's very set in his ways, which isn't
Can I
necessarily
show you
a
another
bad
one-pitch
thing.
pony?
Right.
I showed him a picture of Mariano Rivera. He threw a
Yes.
cutter 95% of the time.
Yes.
It's not a bad thing necessarily as a reliever to do that. But go on.
Personally, I would rather have a closer who's willing to help the team when needed. Like, if you need him to pitch in the 8th, he'll pitch in the 8th. If you need him to pitch the last 5 outs, he'll pitch the last 5 outs.
I think it's a thing with the Yankees. They won't need that, though. Because depth has never been their issue
Right.
with bullpen.
Yeah.
And one of their strengths of this team has always been bullpen.
Right.
And if you're losing Wandy, why not just get a significantly better Wandy?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
Fair.
saying. And they've given big contracts to relievers in the past.
That makes sense. It definitely fits a need. I will agree.
Yeah.
I just. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah. Kenny Middleton, another, I'd give him a couple mil. Because I think he liked playing for the Yankees. I think he's, like, from the area, too. So that I would love just because he did look nice.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I did not watch much of the games he was pitching because they were way out of it, and I
Yeah.
had other stuff going on. I wouldn't mind if they brought him back. Everyone else, though, in IKF, same thing. Who wants to come back? I'm not hating it. Just don't overpay.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I think you just, like, say bye-bye.
Right.
Now on to the predictions outside of the team. So, for the pitchers, I didn't really go into his depth, the rotation. I think that if you are the Yankees and you are going to sign a pitcher, it has to be Yamamoto.
Yeah.
I think that if you are going for a pitcher like that, you are sending him everything.
Yeah.
You said, what did you say? You said 8-220 for the Mets?
Yeah.
I said 7-180 just because I had
Really?
no idea.
I
No
think-
one knows.
I think he's Yeah, fair. No one knows. I think he's breaking 200.
I also didn't take into account of 25.
Yeah.
So that's like another. But it's just like they always are in on international players. The best international players, they are always in on. They were all in on Tanaka.
Obviously.
They got him. They're all in on Matsui. Got him.
Mhm.
They were very interested in Yoshida. Didn't get him. They would have got Otani if he didn't not want to play in the East Coast.
Mhm.
So they're always very in
Yeah.
on them, and I just think that that's one of those moves of I could definitely see them realistically signing him.
Mhm.
Any thoughts on that?
My only issue for the Yankees is this is going to be the what? Let's see. What you signed Cole in 2020.
Mm.
You signed Rodon last year. So what? 2020, 21, 2, 3, 4. So 3 out of the last 5 years, you're gonna throw a bag at one of the highest listed starting pitchers.
Yes.
I just think that the Yankees have other needs than a top end rotation guy. I think, which I'm sure you will address, that the offense needs more addressed and the back end needs more addressed. I don't think you need another ace in that rotation.
The way I see it is that they have a lot of guys that can slot in as that 4 or 5 guy.
Yeah.
I think, because I'm just thinking about it like they have depth.
Right.
It may not be the best, but they have a decent amount of depth
Yeah.
at starting pitching.
Right.
If you're going into the playoffs, you need top heavy. You need top heavy starting rotation.
Correct.
You need 3 dogs
Mhm.
that are just gonna you need at least 2 guys that will just be insane. But you have a 3-headed monster.
Right. That changes things.
That makes that series so different,
Right.
especially in a 5-game series.
Yeah. That makes sense. Again, I don't think I think the Yankees could use that money elsewhere and get more bang for their buck essentially than one player. I think you can sign a mid-rotation guy and you can sign a decent bat for the amount of money you're going to give Yamamoto. And obviously, I'm also saying this because I want the Mets to get him.
Yeah.
And I think we're finally going to see the first Yankees-Mets bidding war this offseason, which I think is going to be a fun thing to look at.
Not really, because you guys are gonna win that. But go on.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter. I don't think it's necessarily a fit. Like it is, but given the roster, I don't think it's a fit. I think you could spend the money elsewhere.
Disagree. I want him. Then to go back to closers, because there's a guy I forgot to talk about. Another guy I could see them signing to replace Wandy is Will Smith.
Mhm.
He's been solid for a while. He guarantees you a ring
Apparently.
because the last 3 years he's won the World Series on different teams.
Exactly.
I
I should have said the Mets should have signed him.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah. No.
How could I
but
do this?
I want Will Smith. Another
Will
guy I don't. I know. Which of the 3?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know his name. I was listening to a podcast earlier,
Okay.
and they were mentioning him.
You're listening to another podcast that's
Shut
not
up.
ours?
Shut up, shut up, shut up,
Don't.
shut up, 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 shut up. And they mentioned his name. He's 29 years old. He's from Japan. He's a reliever, left-handed reliever. If I remember the numbers correctly, he had about 550 innings pitched, about a 2.4 ERA, and about 300 saves.
Is he a lefty?
Yes,
Manga?
that sounds right.
I think that's him.
He is 29 years old. He's had 10 years of service in Japan, so there's no posting fee attached to him too. So that's
You know what?
another.
That's something that we forgot to mention with Yamamoto. He will have a posting fee.
He will have a big posting fee.
big posting fee. But go on.
So that's like another thing that like I didn't really. So it's like that's another like you want to sign, you let Wandy walk and you sign either one of those 3 guys.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I obviously I want Wandy on the team. I think he wants to. I think realistically he stays, and none of the other things happen. I'm
Yeah.
just throwing out like possibilities.
Right.
But what do I go for? I think I'm gonna go the lower level guys first,
Okay. Work your way
and
up.
then I'm gonna like start at 2 and then go down.
Okay.
So, number 1, and by the way, I didn't mention any infielders.
Yeah.
Just 'cause
I don't think.
there's a log jam in the first place. I don't think that there's anyone that you're really gonna sign that unless you throw a bag at them. And even then, like I don't.
Right.
Matt Chapman. Ooh.
Before you go on, the only thing I will say, I think that maybe Candelario wouldn't be a terrible
I've
fit.
seen that there's been ties. Like, the
Right.
Yankees have had talks with him, but...
Yeah, I don't think he would be a terrible fit, but I get where you're coming from
Mhm.
with the infield. But go on.
All right. So we're just going to start outfield because they need a left fielder and probably a center fielder.
Mhm.
So I'm going to start with... Okay.
Say it.
There's two guys... I'll start with my number 3 option, actually.
Okay.
There's 2 guys I have that are like 1 or 2 that like I would die for to get.
Mhm.
Number 3, Cody Bellinger.
Number 3. Really
Yes.
Interesting. I thought it was
Yes.
going to be your number 1.
No,
Okay.
really.
Yeah. All the talk. That
Come on. I'm not that biased. There's a clear number 1. It's not even close.
am I forgetting?
When you
someone?
include trades.
Oh, okay.
I'm including trades in this.
Okay,
Yes.
then yes.
Cody
go on.
Bellinger's number 3. Do you know who my number 2 is?
Probably not.
Number 3, Cody Bellinger. I think that I know you said
No, thank
the
you.
underlying numbers,
Horrible.
all that stuff.
Not horrible. Not good.
I would give him a deal because he can play 4 positions, play all 3 outfield spots, can play first base. He's fast, very good defender.
Mhm.
He's either I didn't watch him last year, so I'm not gonna lie and say I did. I'm pretty sure he's still an elite defender. If not, he's a very
Very
small
good.
tick below.
Yeah.
So you have that. He's gonna play center field until Dominguez comes back, if he's still on the team. But we'll get into that.
Mhm.
And when Dominguez comes back, just slide him over to left.
Right.
That outfield of Judge, Dominguez, and Bellinger, I'm not sure there's a better outfield in baseball.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I don't care about the money. His dad played I think this is a very low key thing. His dad won a World Series with the Yankees.
Yeah.
He knows what it's like playing in New York.
Right.
Bellinger when he was a kid was around that.
Right.
It may sound stupid, but it's just like his dad's gonna mentor him through it.
Yeah.
You kind of get what I mean?
Yeah.
And the lefty bat, and he's become more of a contact hitter, which I would prefer.
Right.
I'd rather him be
Right.
that more
But see,
contact oriented guy.
That's the issue. He's becoming more of a contact guy, but he's going to be paid as a balanced power guy.
I'll overpay. I don't care.
No.
For
See-
me, I don't. But for me, I don't care because I think he's one of those guys that completely changes the lineup.
I beg to differ.
For the Yankees, yes.
I beg to differ.
For the Yankees, yes.
I would rather sign like 2 or 3 other guys than
No.
Cody Bellinger. I do
I think-
not think that contract is going to
Because I think you would just throw him in the 3 spot. You could right away throw him in the 3 spot.
I don't like
Dude, having Rizzo as your 5 hitter,
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things that completely changes your lineup.
I just don't like his outlook. I don't
don't-
think he's going to be as bad as he was in, the 21, 22.
When he was hurt and all
Right.
that. Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to be nearly as good as he was this year.
I also think it's a thing of I don't care. You are wasting prime years of Judge and Cole.
Correct.
You are wasting the very little left that Stanton has back.
Correct.
You are wasting what LeMahieu has left, what Rizzo has left. You are wasting prime years of guys that you cannot be wasting.
Mhm.
You have to go as hard as you can to win a ring within the next 2 or 3 years.
Mm.
You have to.
Mhm.
You have one of the best, if not the best, you can argue whatever, hitter in baseball.
Mhm.
You have one of the best, if not the best, and I think it's more likely he's the best starting pitcher in baseball.
Mhm.
You have so many other guys that play great roles. Gleyber Torres, do not trade him. You're stupid if you want him traded. You need to win a ring within the next couple of years because those 2 guys are generational talents.
Right.
They just, you can't
Deep breath.
burn those opportunities. So I think a guy like Bellinger changes the lineup so much.
Mhm.
Granted, he's the 3rd guy I would put.
Right.
But still, I still think just what he would do for the Yankees, short porch, all that.
Yeah.
I think he's perfect for the Yankees. I think he's a perfect fit for the Yankees.
If you would like to overpay for Cody Bellinger,
What I have on here
All
is
you.
8,200.
I would not pay him 200.
I would.
I would not.
I don't care.
How old is he? 30? 28? Something like that? I want to say like 28, 30.
Age. 28 and a third.
Ooh, and a third. Yeah, 8 years makes sense.
36. That's not bad.
200 million.
I don't care. It's a thing of it's also not my money.
Obviously.
And it's a thing of I wish it was my money.
But still, it's not your money, but then you say that when Hal Steinbrenner has not been using his money. So you think if he's going to get Bellinger, he's going to still add?
Other guys, yeah. Not as
Not-
high price.
That's
but
what
yeah,
I'm saying. Like
I still think so.
you can get value out of the amount of money you're going to pay Bellinger.
But I just think that it's one of those things of the Yankees can't get depth guys. Like they need a solidified left fielder.
Right.
You can't get. I'll get into them now.
Okay.
A guy like Gurriel, Hernandez, Kevin Kiermaier, they do nothing for me in left field.
Mm-hmm.
They do nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they're all league average or worse hitters.
Kevin Kiermaier had a really good year.
But that's 1 year.
Cody Bellinger had one good year.
But he has a track record of being an MVP.
5 years ago.
Still,
5 years ago.
he was an elite hitter for a while. For
5 years
for a
ago.
good amount. Yeah, but he's also 28. How old is Kevin Kiermaier?
Yeah, he's like, 34, but
47. He is 33.
33.
Let me see. When is his birthday? When is your birthday?
That's what I'm saying.
April 22nd. Pretty much a month into the season. He's
He'll
gonna
be 34.
34.
Right, but you're not signing him to a 5-year contract. You're giving him
I just-
2, 3
But
max.
that's the thing. The Yankees need a guy in left field that is an actual hitter. That has been just a black hole for the last 2-3 years.
Mhm.
They've gotten no production from left field. They need a left fielder.
Right.
That is why, like I said, like yeah, Yamamoto, but I think you need a left fielder so much more than you need a pitcher. You need to back up the Brinks trucks for a left fielder.
Mm-hmm. I also don't think that you're paying Bellinger to play left field.
Or center, whatever.
Yeah, you have him in center. You move Dominguez to left. Still.
Okay, so Dominguez is your left fielder.
Still,
Oh no,
Still, I'm just.
Nick. It's at the point where I put that Eddie Rosario as a club option in my notes.
Which the Braves are probably declining, by the way.
But that's the point that I'm making. That I love Eddie Rosario. He's not that guy.
No.
You need that guy in left or center and then move whatever.
Right.
You need that type of guy.
I don't think Bellinger's that
I
guy.
think he is.
I don't.
I think he is.
I beg.
He's
to differ.
proved that he can play in a big market.
Yes.
You also have to realize he played at Wrigley.
Yeah.
That could affect the lefty hitter. If he knows that
He hit at Wrigley and he still got lucky.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What?
As a lefty, that fence is what, like 20, 30 feet closer to you?
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, you know that that could be part of the reason why he wasn't as big of a power guy, because he changed up his approach based off where he was.
Or he didn't hit the ball hard. How are you going to hit a home run if you don't hit it hard? Yeah, a pop-up is a home run in Yankee Stadium. But he didn't hit the ball hard.
Let me go to it.
We can have a whole episode discussing Cody Bellinger. I do not like his outlook whatsoever.
Thing is, I don't care. Because he doesn't strike out.
Yeah.
He's average on walks.
Okay.
He's fast as shit.
Okay.
Phenomenal defender.
Okay.
And an insane amount of upside of the plate.
Not worth the money.
I think he is.
I think we've spent too much time on Cody Bellinger.
Whatever. So, I'll go to my... These are my 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
I think that 2 is more likely
Okay.
than 1.
Okay.
But I will sell my soul for 1 to happen.
I'm sure. As would
Number
anyone.
1, Juan Soto.
Exactly. Yeah.
All the points that I just made about Cody Bellinger, put those on crack when it comes to Juan Soto. I am willing to give up anyone not named Volpe or Dominguez to get Juan Soto. And I don't think it's going to cost either one of them.
No.
You know how big of a Spencer Jones lover I am.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give him up for Juan Soto with the caveat, and I think you agree with this. You didn't mention it, but I think you definitely agree with it. If you trade Juan Soto, you have to extend him
Yeah.
the second he steps foot off the plane
Yeah.
in New York.
Yeah.
no matter what, you're trading for this guy. You're giving up so many prospects.
Yeah.
It's inexcusable not to extend him.
I agree.
And the Padres, they want to be around $200 million. They're at 197 before arbitration.
Right.
He's expected to make 30 mil himself.
Yeah. Padres are having some money issues.
They literally had to take out loans from the bank
Yeah.
so that they could pay players last season.
Right.
They don't have money. They need to trade him. I'm willing to give a package, and this is like a package I wrote down. I think this is a fair package. Peraza, Pereira, Chase Hampton, their number 4 prospect, because they do want pitchers. They want like the
Yes.
pitchers to be the headliners. Drew Thorpe, number 5, who's the minor league pitcher of the year. A middle of the pack prospect somewhere between like 12 and 20, and then someone like the late 20s.
Is that 5 or 6
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
for just Soto?
Yes,
That's too much.
I don't care.
I think you need something else in that trade if you're giving up 6 prospects. I think that's
There was a guy
insane.
that I saw that the Padres had that actually like kind of piqued my eye as like an add-in
Yeah.
if we took on his contract. I forget who it is though.
Cronenworth?
Yes.
Yeah, because I probably saw the same thing. If you get Soto and Cronenworth, I think that makes sense.
Okay,
But
then you
then
take out one of Peraza or Pereira.
Right, but Cronenworth doesn't fit, I don't think.
Okay, but I'm saying you take out one of Peraza or Pereira.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like I would overpay for Soto.
Right.
I do not care.
Yeah, fair.
Because it's a thing of Pereira. I don't like his. I know he has a lot of upside. I don't
Mhm.
really like his upside
Mm-hmm.
as much. Like
Right.
as like a lot of other people. Peraza, I'm kind of the same way. I think Peraza's a good player, but I just think that I would much rather have a guy with more offense,
Mhm.
like Volpe. You're not moving Volpe from shortstop.
Yeah,
Glaber's on the team right now, and you could probably extend him for not that much money,
right.
comparatively to like what the other market is.
Yep.
Maybe play him at third. The point I'm making is I'm willing to give up
A lot.
a lot for Soto.
Yeah.
And I think that you would agree with me on that too.
Completely fair.
I'm willing to overpay on Soto because I was talking about Cody Bellinger being that dude.
Juan Soto is
This
that dude.
is that dude.
He is that dude
He
in
is,
bold
like,
italics.
I think people throw around the word generational a little
Yeah.
too much. He is generational.
My dad is screaming right now. Let me just.
He doesn't like him.
No.
He is one of the best players in baseball.
Correct. Sorry, Dad.
It's not even a debate.
Correct. Sorry, Dad.
It is not.
It's not.
I'm sorry,
Dad.
Mr. O'Brien. I love you, but you are wrong. How old is he? 26?
Soto, something like that. 25, maybe. He was 22 in 2019 because
25.
that's the only thing that they said about him in 2019.
Oh, he just turned 25 in October.
So he's gonna be
He's gonna be 25 when the season starts.
insane.
I don't care how much money you give him.
Right.
I would give him 13,425.
Right. Something insane.
I just threw out
Insane.
I just threw out a massive fucking number. I
Right.
wasn't actually thinking about how much, but like I would give him north of 400 million.
Yeah.
He has the best plate discipline in all of baseball. He came off. Now is the perfect time to trade for him because somehow his value is lower than it should be.
I beg to differ. I think if you're actually
Comparatively,
if you're actually looking at Juan Soto as a GM, you know who Juan Soto is. Forget what other people are saying, but I get what
you
you're
get what I mean. Like
yes.
no, but I'm saying like even if it's just
A
a tick,
smidge, yeah.
but I'm saying like that's what I mean. Like now is the time to get him and
Right.
extend him going into the season.
Right.
Of you just put him in that lineup. It's not
Not fair.
just to have Judge and Soto back to back.
Yeah, that would be something. That would be great.
Even put Judge at 3, and then you have Volpe, Soto, Judge. That is
You know
just-
that picture of like the army guys with the clown?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Volpe
Stan.
Soto Judge.
Oh. Well, no, but no. In the
That
sense,
would be,
no.
That's funnier.
You get what I mean.
Yeah.
In the sense of he gets on,
Yeah.
you have two of the best players in baseball that'll knock him in.
Right.
That's more what I meant.
Yes.
He has
I
a
know.
lot more opportunity on the base paths and all
Yeah.
that. I wasn't saying that
I
he's at
know,
that level.
I know.
But that's just such an immediate improvement on your
Oh
off.
my god.
That's like
yeah.
that alone is like if they sign him, I'm fine with them not doing anything else for offense.
I was just gonna say that. Like that's completely fine.
Maybe like a depth, like a fourth outfielder or something.
Right.
But like, you trade for him, you're set on offense.
Mhm.
I don't care how much money you get. You don't want to sign an expensive pitcher? I don't care. Juan Soto for me is the end all be all of
Mhm.
this offseason. It's almost like this isn't as big of a deal because he wasn't on the team. It's almost like last year with Judge,
Yeah.
where you either sign Judge or you sign everyone else.
Right.
You either trade for Juan Soto or you sign a lot of other people.
Yeah.
That's how it is to me. And
That's
if you're
fair.
not getting Soto, that's why I was mentioning Bellinger. But I think, here's my number 2. Do you know my number 2?
Is he in an AL Central team?
Not even close.
Really? Then no, I don't.
Not even. Keep guessing divisions.
All right, let me guess league first. National League.
No.
Okay, American League.
No.
What? Oh. What?
Jung Hoo Lee.
Yes. Yes.
This man, Lee Jung Hoo. My bad.
Come on, man.
You need him to be a base. You need him. Like, it's one of those guys that, like, if you don't get Soto, okay, like, I get, like, the Padres may not want to trade him. I've seen, like, Ken Rosenthal said they'd probably trade him at the deadline. They may not trade him
Yeah.
now. I think it is likely that they do trade him just
If you
because, like, the
trade
thing
him,
with
you
the
trade him
money.
now.
Exactly. You get so much more.
Yep.
But it's just, this man is insane. I don't have the numbers in front of me of, like, the numbers that I was, like, talking to you about.
Yeah.
You could get him on something like 678.
That would be a steal.
I think, but, like, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, I would pay him over 100 mil.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Contact God.
He is, and, like, this. No, but the reason why he would be lower than 100 mil is because he's Korean, not Japanese. No, okay, that sounded bad. That sounded bad.
Whoa. Wow.
That sounded really bad. Because people from the NPB, or is that Japan? Yeah, that's Japan. People from the NPB get a lot more money than the KBO.
Yeah.
The KBO players get a lot less money because it's not as high a competition. So that's why I could see like 678
Yeah.
being realistic, because it is one of those things of he comes from a league that doesn't necessarily get as much respect, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So like it's not as big of a, I don't want to say deal,
Right.
but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And something that I just thought was fun, he hit 429 for Korea in the World Baseball Classic. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me get it up now.
You know, he can show that he has performed in a postseason-esque situation. So that obviously is great to see.
Let me get baseball. Wait, it is Jung Hoo Lee.
Oh.
I'm seeing when I was looking at it, there were so many different things. Yeah, let me. Bada 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 bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Just show me your stats.
He had a really good MLB The Show card, let me say.
He did.
He did. I used him for the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you do your research beforehand.
No.
Instead of
Baseball
watching the
reference is
Cowboys
being
lose.
dumb. He's being dumb.
Because I don't think Baseball Reference...
He's also 25. That's another thing too.
Does Baseball Reference have foreign leagues?
Yes, I have it.
Come on.
Okay. So he has only had more strikeouts than walks, and he's played 7 seasons. And
Mhm.
let's see. 1, 2. In 5 seasons, he's had more walks than strikeouts.
Out of the 7.
Yes.
That's great.
How many? Let's see. I know batting average isn't, but if he's
Still.
like that type of contact guy,
Yeah.
that's like, in my
You
opinion,
look
it
at
does
batting
matter.
average.
For a guy like this, it does matter.
Correct.
In my opinion.
Correct.
He has hit the lowest batting average he's had in a year is 318.
Right.
And how many? And that was only in 86 games.
Right.
So I think there was, and that was this year. I think there was like some injury stuff, whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know how long those seasons are in Korea,
Yeah.
but this is how many games he's played in a 7-year career: 144, 109, 140, 140, 123, 142, and then this year 86.
Right.
He's durable, 25 years old, lefty hitting outfielder that can also play center field. By the way, that's another thing too.
Right.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff that he can play center field. Just
He's a fit.
walks a lot more than he strikes out.
That's great.
He is a budget Soto with a lot less power.
Yeah.
but just from the terms of, like, plate discipline
Right.
and all that stuff. And even then, this year he had 23 home runs.
Solid.
I didn't even know that until I looked at it.
Solid.
Yeah, let's see. Oh my god, that's kind of crazy. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong year. Never mind. That was his 2022 season.
Oh, okay.
In 2022, he had 36 doubles, 10 triples, and 23 home runs, and 113 RBIs. I think RBIs matter, by the way, if you have a lot.
Yeah.
If you don't, I'm not going to knock you, but if you have a lot, I think
It's a
that,
bonus.
how can you take that away from someone?
Yeah.
But whatever. Incredible leadoff hitter. You just put him in at one, case closed.
Ta-da.
You don't even look back at it.
Yeah.
Again,
Definitely.
but if you do sign him, you do need to make another move.
Mhm.
But I just think that, in kind of like the same reason I use for Yamamoto, if they do like going in for the overseas players, Japanese, Korean, whatever it be, I think he's that perfect type of guy. So it's just,
agree. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think he's probably the guy that, from a value standpoint,
Yeah.
he is the best value, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I agree.
From what the throw value out the room, because you don't give a shit, Juan Soto.
Correct.
I would make an argument that Yamamoto is almost the same. Oh, I didn't even mention Ohtani. It's not happening. That's
Yeah.
why I'm not mentioning him.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Whether it be the money, Stan clogging DH, him saying he doesn't like pitching in Yankee Stadium,
Mhm.
it's not happening.
Yeah.
I-
Move on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I think that Yamamoto is almost that, in my point of view, for Soto, where it's like, Yamamoto's that type of guy that you give a bag to. I don't care what you give up.
Yeah.
You get him. That's like Yamamoto and Soto for hitting and pitcher.
Yeah.
I think as the Yankees, if you really want to be serious in the AL East going next year, you have to get one of them.
Right.
You have to get one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I could be overreacting,
Right.
but like, what do you think?
I think that the Yankees could be competitive without a Yamamoto. I think if you are going to put a number one priority, it's Juan Soto.
Not even close.
Right.
It's not close.
Right. I think this offense needs a lot more work than the rotation does, which is why
I would agree.
I would move more money towards the offensive side and kind of go value based for pitching. Because you did say you have depth, so I would say you only need like one mid-tier starter when you can then spend more money on free agent bats.
It's a thing of, if you don't get my like 1 through 4 is Soto. Let me see how it says. Baseball Reference says Jung-Hoo Lee. Google says something different, but according to Baseball Reference, his name is Jung-Hoo Lee.
Okay.
Soto, Jung-Hoo Lee, Bellinger, Yamamoto.
Right.
That is my priority list.
I think that would be fair.
That is what I think out of those are really the only, and then 5, if I had to throw 5, I would say like Hader or whatever,
Yeah.
like based off that, whatever. I would love Hader. But I think that you have to, just to put in perspective, because I did say like throw the bag, you need the offense much more, but if you can't get one of those 3 guys, you have to get Yamamoto.
Right.
That's just the way I see it, where like, because there was another point that someone brought up that was such a good point. This dude is a winner. There is no pitcher like him to come from Japan in how long?
Yeah.
Like, he may be the best international pitching prospect to come over.
Probably.
Like, that we can at least
Ever.
in our lifetime.
Until
Probably
Roki,
ever.
Was it Roki Sasaki?
But he's not
Yeah.
here yet. Think about the revenue deals.
Yeah.
Is there a big, other than Yoshida or Masaka Yoshida, is there a big Japanese player on the East Coast?
Kodai Senga. He's literally across the street.
Fair. That's stupid. But still, but
I get what you're trying to go for.
no
though.
offense to Senga. Phenomenal pitcher. Yamamoto
He was
is
not nearly as
it
hyped
is
up as Yamamoto.
not on the it's
It's
not,
not close.
and that's not disrespectful.
No, I love Senga.
Yeah. Yamamoto is
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, basically.
he is insane.
Yes.
You have, if I'm a team and I need a starting pitcher, he's my number 1 priority. I do not care how much money. I do not care how much I'd have to overpay. That's what he's Soto level to me, where I don't care how much you have to give him. You give him what he asked for.
Yeah. Fair. Fair. I'm just more financially conscious.
But my thing is that, like I said with the Yankees, we're like, they need to win a ring within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
You aren't wasting prime Judge years. You aren't wasting prime Cole years. Like, who would you? Maybe Lindor, you're wasting some of his prime years.
Right.
Alonso still has a while.
Right. I would say Lindor. You already wasted DeGrom.
But you don't
Right.
have any more of those guys to really worry about.
Right. Yeah, because this is, for better or for worse, I guess, this is a new budding era of
Yes.
the Mets.
The Yankees are already in one.
Yes.
And you have so many young guys that will fill those spots.
Yeah.
You have Dominguez that'll fill an outfield spot. You have one or two guys that are going to fill infield spots. You have a couple of really good, interesting guys that'll fill rotation, bullpen, whatever it is. You need to get a couple dudes.
Right.
You need to get guys.
Yeah.
And when I say guys, I mean like guys that there's no doubt about it, they are going to be insane.
Yep.
They are going to do well.
Need 'em
Juan
with this.
Soto is insane in the postseason.
Correct.
Bring it back to Bryce. This is how Brian Cashman makes up for Bryce Harper. This is how he does.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper, a incredibly hyped up guy, lived up to the hype and then some. Incredible in the postseason. You can't quantify clutch. He is clutch.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of like, and obviously to a lesser extent, like Schwarber, pretty solid baseball player, pretty good player. In the clutch, he is one of those guys you need
Right.
on your team.
Yeah.
That's Juan Soto. You have to get Juan Soto.
Fair enough.
I just
I can't argue with that.
there's no.
Juan Soto.
Yes,
Juan Soto.
give him my college fund. I don't care. I don't care. He needs a blood transplant.
Better hope you're a match.
He needs an arm.
There you go.
I don't care.
Fair.
He needs someone to walk his dog. I'll dog sit for an entire season for him.
Juan Soto.
Yes.
Juan Soto.
Yeah. I think that's all I got.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add about the Yankees?
Offense.
Yes. Not even offense. Left fielder.
Yeah.
Or center fielder. Whatever. Left/center.
Yeah.
You need
Outfielding.
lefty hitting outfielder. You
Yes.
need.
You worry about pitching second.
You have three incredible options on the table.
Yes.
Well, two incredible. My opinion, three incredible. His opinion, no. Regardless.
Yeah. Don't pay Bellinger.
Pay Bellinger.
Don't pay Yamamoto because
Pay
the Mets
Yamamoto.
are paying Yamamoto.
Yamamoto and Soto and call it a day.
You could, but
Imagine.
it's a pretty good plan.
Yeah.
Pretty good plan. Can't really argue with that.
No. And we are about to argue for an hour on off camera about Cody Bellinger, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. You understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
So, thanks for watching.
Oh wait, I should say this one more.
Yes.
We don't know what our official scheduling
The
is going to
off
be.
season is a
It's very weird.
case to case
Yeah.
basis. So we will cover news
What we're
as
what,
it comes out.
what I was
but-
thinking is, if nothing comes out in a week, we're not going to record. But we'll have guaranteed once every 2 weeks. But if
Yes.
something big happens in a week, we'll record
Right.
that week. But if
Correct.
not, we'll do once every 2 weeks, just so that you can get updated with
Right.
rumors, stuff like that. Probably throw
Yeah.
in some Manhattan stuff. Probably mention about the
Yeah.
bet and
The
the Ghost Chili
awards.
Pepper.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But thank you guys for watching. We are on YouTube, Spotify. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and TikTok. So make sure to go follow all
TikTok.
of those at Triboro Podcast. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.